Hi, it's Sarah here from Crafting and Stamping, and I'm back with another quick tip. And my tip today is how to quickly create 2 card fronts with just a couple of sheets of DSP. So we're going to do a version of this, but we're going to make it just a little bit different. So I'm just going to bring in my paper trimmer. And I've already cut my card fronts. I've got a base card, an A6 portrait base card of Petal Pink, and a 3 7/8 by 5.5 inch card front of Calypso Coral. Now this is exactly what I started with here. And then I've also got a strip, and this is about a 1/2 inch strip, might be just a little bit bigger. And it's just cut a little bit long so that we can put it over the diagonal that we're going to create here. Now, one of the tips that I would give you when doing this is go with paper that doesn't have a direction to it. These papers can be any way up and they still make sense. There's absolutely no direction to these papers, so it makes it much easier. If you use a paper where the flowers need to be the right way up, then that makes life a lot more difficult, because you're going to have to really consider which way the paper's going to be after you've cut the diagonal. So I've got these, and these are 3 5/8 by 5 1/4, and it's exactly the same piece of paper. So exactly the same piece. But what we're going to do is just put them, if you like, back to back like that, and keep them nice and firmly pressed together straight. This is just to make it nice and quick for you. And we're not actually going to follow exactly the diagonal line, which is a little bit of a shame, because that would actually add to the design, but it's quite a steep angle, so I don't really want to do that. Now I'm just eyeballing this. You can always measure it if you want, but I just want a diagonal that is around about like that. So I've got everything held down firmly, and I can cut through both sheets at once, so that I then can mix and match these, knowing that they will go together. So that's kind of like that. But the other thing we can do is, if we want to, we can flip that over, which is exactly what I am going to do. So I'm going to have one where the diagonal's going one way and one where it's going the other. But if you want to, as I say, you can flip it and have them both going the same way. So I'm going to now stamp this. Now the other day when I did this card, I used Memento black ink. The reason for that is because it's quicker to clean the stamp afterwards. You don't need a specialist cleaner. But today I am going to use StazOn. We will get a bolder look with the StazOn, but there is a little bit more to do in cleaning the stamp. You do need StazOn cleaner to clean your stamp afterwards. Now the other thing about this is, should I make a mistake with this, again I can flip this and do the other side. It does just mean that I won't have them going different ways. So I'm now going to stamp my sentiment and try and get that nicely lined up. Press firmly without squishing too much, because this is red rubber, and it's probably going to stick to the paper as I take it off, so you kind of need to peel it off. So that I do need to clean straight after I've finished this, and I need to clean it. I do it initially with StazOn cleaner, and then I give it a clean on the stamping scrub as well. But I think you can see the difference in that black. Because we're stamping onto a patterned paper, the patterned paper does just resist the Memento black just a little. So it's good to have the stays on, but it's a little bit more work. So next I'm going to put this on the card front, and I do like to use the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue so that I can slide this around if I need to. So we're just going to pop this onto our card front layer like that. And then I'm just going to turn it over. Stays on dries quicker than most inks because it's an alcohol based ink, but I'm still going to blot it just to be careful. And now we'll pop this one on and slide that into place there. And if you have made any sort of small error with the cutting, don't worry about it, because we're going to put that little bit of strip of Calypso coral over the top now, like that. And this is where you can adjust it a little bit, because if you want to make that a bit more in line, it actually won't go fully in line, but you can adjust where you put this piece. So I'm going to go with it there like that. And I really ought to have my silicone mat behind just so that this doesn't stick to my grid paper, but I will be careful not to press it too much at the ends. So pop it over like that, and then all I do is turn it over and use the edge of the card front layer as a guide to trim. So you can see I've got a little bit of glue there that's exposed. So now I can just stick those down, and that can go onto the card front. And like I say, we've now got the other two pieces that will make a second card front. So that's going on there. And then I'll be able to put together another card with that one. So there, I hope that that gives you an idea for being able to do 2 cards quite quickly with your DSP. Like you say, the main issue is making sure that there isn't a direction to your paper, because it makes it much easier to just cut and use. And I've got a few bits of glue on these, so I need to just clean that up. I should have been more careful with my liquid glue, but I'm going to decorate that anyway with some of these beautiful gems that we've got here. So please subscribe to my channel below to see a quick tip every Friday and a quick card every Monday. Thanks for stopping by.